Hi there, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. So today I'm doing another crypto passive income update video. This is episode 13, so halfway through the year, halfway through the updates now. Now before I start, I've got quite a few different bits and pieces to go through today and some changes as well, which I'll explain as we go along. But a few people have reached out to me over the last few months and asked me if I'd consider doing this weekly. So I just wanted to know what you thought. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like this update weekly or monthly rather than every 2 weeks, which I currently do it. Do let me know in the comments below. And seeing as we are 6 months through the year, half the way through the year and the updates, it's probably a good time as any to change if I am going to change it. Anyway, I've made some changes to the tables here. You'll notice here we are starting with crypto interest accounts. I've got some more crypto interest accounts added, and basically too much to go onto one table now. So I've split them into two tables, and then I've lumped everything else together at the end. So that's staking, masternodes, and all the other bits and bobs in the third table. So we'll be starting going forward with our crypto interest accounts. Now what I'm going to do is just go through the figures very quickly, and then I want to come back and talk in a little bit more detail about some of these particular interest accounts and what I'm going to be doing with them going forward. So let's go through the figures for this last 2 weeks. Now, nothing for BlockFi, although we are now on the 2nd of July. These figures actually only go up to midnight on the 30th of June. So we'll be getting our BlockFi and our Ledden payouts in the next update video. So they just missed out on this one. So nothing for BlockFi. And as I mentioned before, I've now split out the Bitcoin and Ethereum loans in BlockFi. I've put all the previous revenue into the BTC loan because that's where we were getting everything paid out, but we've got Ethereum, and I've also got a few coins in, I think, is it GUSD or something like that as well, so I might add that one in as well. So onto the crypto.com, loan 37 cents for MCO. I'll come back and talk about this in a little bit. $3.52 for Ethereum, $16.47 for Bitcoin, and then our two CRO loans. So we have the first one, this is our flexible earn account. We made $4.23, $4.25, and this CRO comes in and out of this kind of earn account. I'm moving it over to the syndicate to participate in the syndicates, then I move it back in for a week or so in between the different syndicate events. I moved that back over this morning, and then we have this second one here with the EX. This is on the exchange, so this is staking on the exchange. So 10,000 CRO staking on the exchange. That allows us to participate in the syndicate events, and they're locked up for 180 days. So that's a 6-month lockup, and they made $9.14 over the last 2 weeks. And then moving on to our Celsius loans, $23.78 for our Bitcoin loan. This is paid out in Celsius, and as you can see here, this is our Bitcoin amount, and the Celsius amount increases, and this also earns interest, so it does compound up over time. So $23.78 for that, $3.35 for our USDT. That's a Tether loan, started just with 1,000 Tether in that. And then we have Ledden, again similar to BlockFi, gets paid out on the 1st of the month. So I've actually received these payouts now, but they're not included in the time frame for this update video. And then on to Nexo. So these are new interest accounts. Nexo is a company that I've been looking at for quite a while now. The reason I haven't put anything in previously is because they were locked really to stable coins, and there was no kind of actual kind of crypto accounts. And then when I checked a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that there were a few small cap coins like Litecoin and stuff like that. So I put a few Litecoin over just as a test. And then last weekend, I think it was, they announced that, or just about a week ago, they announced that BTC and Ethereum, excuse me, had been launched on the platform. So I put one Bitcoin over to Nexo as well. So this has only been there, I think, for 2 days, 2 or 3 days when these figures came in. But they are a new interest account. So we'll be doing a full roundup of Nexo probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks once I've had a little bit more time to play with the platform. But 37 cents for Litecoin and $1.97 for Bitcoin. And then finally, where we used to start with our staking coins, so we've got NeoGas 79 cents, Icon $4.71, and then I've grouped all our small cap sold coins. So these are all the coins that we've actually sold. I've grouped those together, so that's total revenue so far this year, $90.81. Obviously we're not receiving any stakes at the moment because we've got rid of those. So we will have some more coins being added to this list in the next few months. So we've got Cardano, which I believe the main net should go live with staking in August, at which point we'll get obviously all our sort of like testnet staking coins as well onto the mainnet as well. So Cardano will be added to this list, as well as maybe one or two other coins over the next few months. And then we've got our Horizon secure note here, $4.06 over the last 2 weeks. And then referral revenue. So it's been a fantastic couple of weeks for referral revenue. BlockFi referral revenue comes in on the last day of the month, as opposed to the interest payments which get paid out on the first day of the month. So we received $200 from BlockFi. This is people signing up with my affiliate link, and $60 from Celsius. So thank you very much to anybody who's actually signed up to the platforms through my links. Really appreciate it, and it really does help the channel. So $260, really good referral amount of revenue the last couple of weeks. And then on to our sort of advertising accounts. This is the YouTube and video based stuff. So we had $24.85 from YouTube and $7.64 from Library. Now a couple of weeks ago, Library cut basically the amount of Library tokens they pay out for various functions. They cut it by somewhere between, I think, a third and a half, depending on the actual kind of payout. So the daily watch videos, you used to get between 1 and 100 Library tokens for actually just watching a video on the platform every day or whenever you go on and watch them, and that's been cut to between a half of a token and 50 tokens. So that's gone down by half. I used to get 90 Library for syncing my YouTube channel each month, and that's gone down to kind of 60. So that's cut that by a third, and various other changes. I think basically as the price of Library has kind of gone up, or as they're getting more and more users in the kind of platform, can't afford to pay out quite as many tokens. So we will be receiving less payouts going forward in terms of Library tokens, but we'll have to see what the price does with that, because the price has done pretty well over the last week or so. It had a nice pump up, I think it was about a month or two ago, then kind of pulled back a little bit, and it's had another nice little pump. But obviously you're earning a lot more at the moment with YouTube than Library. So $7.64 for Library, $24.85 for YouTube, and a total of this update of $365.27. So if we jump forward to the graph, you'll see here that we had that trend before of every other update including the BlockFi payouts, which was at the beginning of each month. Now this update is actually a record for us by about $4. So we were over $360. We were just before this update on episode number 9. But this isn't actually a BlockFi update, although it's a sort of partial BlockFi update, I suppose, in that we've got some referral revenue from BlockFi, but our actual payout, our interest on our BTC and Ethereum won't be coming until the next update. So whereas I thought this would be a kind of lower update, more like this, and then we'd have two and then a spike up, we will hopefully have another decent update next time as well, because we'll get our Ledden and BlockFi monthly kind of payout. So I imagine the next update will be somewhere between these two here, so somewhere maybe around the sort of 250 or something like that, 200 mark. Anyway, so it's been a decent update this time. If we jump over to the cumulative revenue, you can see here I've tried to fit a trend line to it. It's decent. It's a decent kind of fit, I think 0.9798 in the R squared value. So it's a decent kind of fit, but we'll have to see what happens over the next few months. I think we're not going to know exactly how good these kind of fits are and any kind of fluctuations until the end of the years. But we can see that there is a general kind of upward trend of what we're receiving on our weekly our 2 weekly updates. As you can see here, that the higher peaks are going up and the lower peaks are actually going up as well, which is all good. Now, before I wrap up for this episode, just want to talk through a few little changes going forward. So firstly, BlockFi. So BlockFi was the first crypto interest account I had, and I have proportionally a larger amount of crypto in BlockFi than in the other providers. Now, I don't have a massive issue with that, but for the sake of sort of security and sort of stability kind of going forward, in case there were ever an issue with one of these kind of platforms, I'd like to redistribute things a little bit more evenly between the kind of platforms. So over the next kind of few months, I will be redistributing some of this. So I will be taking 10 Ethereum out of the BlockFi Ethereum loan, probably putting it in Celsius. So I'll have 10 in BlockFi, 10 in crypto.com, you can see here, and a 10 in Celsius, just to spread out the risk. And also in Bitcoin, we'll probably be taking a little bit of the Bitcoin out and redistributing it across some of the other platforms. Now, BlockFi allow you to have one free stablecoin and one one free crypto withdrawal each month. So I'll probably just be doing one each month. So this month I'll probably get rid of the Ethereum, move that over to Celsius, and then over the next few months I'll probably take half a Bitcoin at a time and move them over into some of these different providers. So I might put a little bit more into crypto.com, a little bit more into Celsius, and a little bit more maybe into kind of Ledn and or Nexo. So we shall see going forward, but expect a few changes over the next kind of 3 months from that point of view. The only other changes I'm thinking of is our MCO loan here. So I have 50 MCO tokens locked up in my card. So I have the crypto.com card. Obviously there's been a few issues with that. It's actually provided by Wirecard, which obviously is currently under investigation in kind of Germany. Now the cards were locked in the UK along with other platforms like Curve for about 48 hours. They've been unlocked now, so all the cards are back and are usable. But I have 50 MCO locked to the card. That gives me some cash back, so it gives me 2% cash back. It gives me free Spotify each month and a few other kind of benefits. Excuse me. Now, the question I had, this loan or this interest account, the 3-month period, will be up soon. And I've been contemplating over the last kind of couple of months, and I've been sort of thinking a little bit back and forth about whether I get rid of all my MCO tokens. They're not really performing in terms of kind of price. I've held MCO for the original 50 for 2 years. The price is, I think, as of today, down about 8% on what I paid for them 2 years ago. It's been a month or so ago, it was maybe up 10% on what I've kind of paid, but effectively the price of MCO has not really changed particularly over that last 2 years. Certainly when we compare it to something like CRO, which all the impetus and all the efforts of crypto.com seem to be going into the CRO token, MCO only really used and valuable for locking up into the cards. So I will keep my 50 locked to the card. My two sort of options really were get rid of the MCO completely, swap it for a different kind of crypto, and or increase the amount of MCO I have so I get to that next tier of card level, which would be 500 MCO. Now that gives me a few additional benefits, some of them which aren't that interesting. It would give me a refund on my Netflix each month, which would be nice. It would give me airport lounge access, but I already have airport lounge access through a traditional credit card that I have. It doesn't give you like a +1 on the airport access or anything like that. It does give you slightly higher rates, and it does give you a 6% interest rate on that 500 MCO, which is locked up. So there are some benefits, and I would earn a little bit more, another couple of percent I think, on most of these loans as well. So I will do the figures when this loan comes to the end. As I said, it's probably going to be in the next kind of week or two, I think, the lockup finishes. So I'll make a decision. So we'll either be getting rid of our MCO or we will be increasing the stake up to 500 for those kind of card benefits and stuff like that. I think at the moment probably looking at getting rid of it. And then no big changes for Celsius. When I move the Ethereum in, I'll probably choose to be paid out in Celsius as well. The price has done really well over the year so far. So what we've actually received, $159.11 in Celsius. This is the price when it was actually paid out, but the total amount in today's price is actually substantially higher than that. As I've always mentioned, I'm going to be keeping hold of all this Celsius, letting it kind of compound up till the end of the year, and then we'll kind of sell it and see how that compares to if we'd just been paid out in Bitcoin. And then the other loans here, so we've got next a very new provider. I might be looking at one or two more into there, and maybe a little bit more from the Bitcoin in BlockFi. But that's it for this week's update. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you do want these either weekly or monthly, do let me know in the comments below. If you could give me a thumbs up, post a comment, something like that, that would be fantastic. If you're not subscribed to the channel, maybe consider doing that. I've got a lot more videos planned and coming in the next few weeks and months. But thanks very much for watching. As always, I hope you're all well, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.